Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is April if you're new, and today we're gonna go over my weekly makes. I have been a crocheting machine, and this is actually probably the last 2 weeks of items, so don't think that I did all of these in a week because that didn't happen. I also just finished a bunch of works in progress that I had like halfway done for a long time. So yeah, again, I feel like I've been a machine. Basically crocheting and listening to my audiobook as much as I can and just enjoying it. My mood has been kind of all over the place the last couple of weeks, so that's probably why I've been doing a lot of crocheting, because crocheting definitely boosts my mood. So let me get right into what I made and who the pattern designers are and all of the good stuff. So we're gonna start with the smallest items. I made a couple more wizard frogs. There's a bunch of wizard frogs out there. This one is by Crochet by Janina, I think it is, or Yanina. I don't know how she says her name, but she does have a channel here on YouTube. But oh my god, I love this pattern. It comes with like a bunch of like woodland frogs. There's a fairy, there's a druid, and I think there's a mushroom as well, but I personally like the wizard and the fairy. People at the markets seem to love the wizard the most, so I had 2 of these at my last market, sold both of them. So my plan was to make like 3 or 4 of them. I think I have 3 now. So these are 2 I did. These are really easy to batch make. So you can make the frogs, like a bunch of frogs, very quickly. They're pretty small, palm-sized frogs. And then all of the hats and the capes and the face details and everything, I feel like these would be really good to batch make. I did that with these 2. And so, I don't know, I love them. At the market, I sell them for $10, and people just seem to love them. They think they're so cute. This one is another one from Kindmaker. Gosh, the last video that I did, I showed you the little jester clown person, and I like over the moon. I love that thing. He's so cool. But then I also saw her like Halloween patterns, so I had to get this one. It comes in like a set with a coffin and then another like skeleton lady laying in the coffin, but I only made the Dapper gentleman skeleton. And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with his top hat. I'm obsessed with his monocle. He was so, like, not like super easy to make, but he was definitely not difficult to make. And he was so fun as I was putting this together. You know when you like kind of put things together and as you're doing it, it just kind of like makes you giddy. I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. But when I put on his bow tie, it was beautiful. I couldn't stand it. He is adorable. I have no idea what I would price him at. I'm thinking for these detailed, medium-sized kind of plushies in the $25 to $30 range. I think any more than that, and people are gonna be like, that's way too much money. Not that it's not worth it. I definitely think he's worth more than that. But it's always kind of a delicate balancing act between what it's worth and what people will pay for it. So I'm trying to hit a middle sweet spot there. And I think probably gonna set them out for 30 and see what happens. Halloween is fastly approaching and leaving, since Halloween is this Friday. And he hasn't gone to a show because I didn't have one. So if you want him, he is available. You just need to send me a DM. But yeah, I'm thinking 30 bucks. He was just so fun. I definitely will have him every Halloween. If he sells, he's gonna be one of those that I'm gonna make all the time, just because I think he's so kitschy and adorable. And it's one of those things where like I look at it and I go, nobody else has that. Like, where would anybody else get something like that? So, yep, everything is sewn on here. Actually, the legs are done and around. You start with the legs, the arms are sewn on, the head's sewn on, the hat's sewn on, and then I did felt for all the face details. Oh, the bow tie is also sewn on. So if you like sewing like me, You're gonna love this pattern. If you don't like sewing, maybe not the pattern for you. Anyways, I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with my little gentleman skeleton dude. What's his name? Like, I feel like he needs a name. I feel like he's a Lord something or Sir something. No, we're going with Lord. Lord something or other. Lord something bones. Is that too obvious? And then I hesitated to actually do this one, but I went for it. I did make one of these already and it sold from Fox and Faye Crochet. It's the little forest dweller pattern. We all know what this looks like from Star Wars. The other one I made was definitely the traditional colors that are red. The hood's red, and then the little forest dweller is brown. Different colors of brown, but I did this one in gray. I remember in the movie they were all different colors, so I tried out a different color. This one might be a hard sell, honestly. That's what my husband was saying, because it's not the traditional colors. He definitely was like, I think you should stick with the red and the browns, but I didn't have those colors. But I just really loved this pattern, so I wanted to make another one. But I still think he's really cute. Like, I think if I made 2 or 3 of these and put them in different colors next to each other, I think they would still go. Like, they're definitely, like, he also needs a spear. Like, for 100% sure he needs a spear. So I'm gonna be adding that. I love a little extra detail like that. And the last one I sold for $20. I'm selling this one for $20. He's very, very small. I use all Parfait chunky yarn. I'm really loving the yarn. It doesn't hurt my wrists, so if it doesn't hurt my wrists, I'm gonna use it. Especially can't use blanket yarn these days with my frozen shoulder, so Parfait chunky or smaller is the way I'm going with these. But yeah, he still turned out really cute, and again, I gave him, yes, I do give them custom eyes. I paint all the glitter and stuff myself. Some of them I still use the discs, but I don't have a lot of the discs. So this guy, I had to paint him myself. He's still cute, but he's more like a little grandpa Ewok, you know what I mean? Like, he's a little grandpa dude rather than the other one. And then I made this for my kids. My kids are obsessed with the show Gumball. If you've never seen the show, it's just kind of like, to me, it's like SpongeBob. It's not educational. It's just strictly for entertainment, for fun, and it's wild, okay? It's crazy. But my kids love Gumball. They used to always watch the show. So when I saw this pattern from Lunart, oh gosh, I forget her name, but I'll put it down below. When I saw this pattern, I was like, I need to do that immediately. So I did. I did not make Darwin. I just made Gumball, but here he is. He's an odd little cat. He's an odd little cat, dude. He's meant to be like kind of a paper 2D flat character. So it's really weird putting him as a 3D character. That's why his face shape is kind of weird, but this is I mean, it looks just like Gumball. Probably the only thing I did wrong was these pupils probably should be 1 more row apart and maybe a little bit larger. That's the notes that I got from my, 13 and 10-year-old. But I still think he turned out cool. Like, he's definitely Gumball. And I went out and had to get all of the brown colors. Like, this is exactly why I made my last premiere order, just so I can get the exact colors. And this one is not being sold. This one is staying with my children. Also, I probably wouldn't sell this one because in the pattern, you're supposed to put something to stabilize the head into. I did not do that. So actually, when you like hold them, he's definitely a little floppy. The head's not going to come off or anything. And it really, like, to me, it doesn't matter because you're going to hold them like this anyways. But if I were to make another one to sell, I definitely would put in that stabilizer. I think Katie from the Celestial Homebody, she has a great idea to get those like hair curler things from the dollar store and use those. That's a fantastic idea, and I think I do that next time. The neck portion is a little small and it's a little tight, but I think it'll fit. That's what he said, right, Katie? But anyways, I think he's adorable. I love Gumball. He's just so weird and stupid. Again, this pattern does come with Darwin and Gumball, which I think is a really good deal. You get 2 plushies like this. Again, very, very well done. Was not difficult to do in the slightest. Very great directions. And the only thing that I still have trouble with is like stuffing it so it's like more flat and not like rounded shape. So just when you're stuffing, just note, like, be careful of that. You don't want to completely stuff it so this bulbous area is unnoticeable, because he definitely has this like weird shape on the side from being a cat. Anyways, he turned out great. I would definitely make him again. If I were to sell him, I'm not going to sell this one because it's for my children, but if I were to sell him, he'd probably be more like 35 to 40, honestly. That's if I stabilize his head a little better. But he's bigger than my head, and I think he's just a special character that deserves a little bit of a higher price. So my next one is actually a free pattern, and I'm currently working on my second one because this is like total nostalgia item that I saw and I was immediately like, I gotta make that. It's a Furby. Ah, I made a Furby. Like, seriously, did y'all have a Furby when you were younger? I didn't. I'm a little bit older than the Furby generation, but like, I still thought they were weird creatures. And since most of my plushies that I make are fantastical creatures, I was like, a Furby works, a Furby goes. So I made this little brown Furby. You use fur for the hair, and while the fur is actually supposed to be a little bit longer than this, I trimmed him up so he can kind of have a little bit of a mohawk situation. His forehead does have like a little heart detail. So you do the whole body, this green part and the toes all in one, and then you sew and you make the ears separately. You make this face detail separately, the little mask, and then the eyes are actually just into the mask, and then you sew the mask on. If I had to do it again, I actually think I would make the mask just one more row bigger, so that way when you sew it on, it has a little bit more room to like expand out, so that way the eyes aren't so close together. I do think my eyes on this one are a little bit closer than I would like. I don't think it looks bad or anything. Like, I definitely don't think he needs to be discounted because I did it crappily, but I would like his eyes to be a little bit further apart. And again, I did do custom gold glittery eyes on this guy. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I don't know. I tried my best with the colors that I had. My next one is going to be like pink and purple and yellow and blue pastel, with pastel varied for hair. I have like this little bunny fur yarn, and I'm gonna try doing the hair with that. So I'm in the works to make another Furby. Again, he's just kind of cool. I don't really know what I would sell him for. Probably more like $20. He was so quick to make, so easy. I don't think there's anything like especially difficult about this pattern. It is just a lot of rounds, specifically for the body. I think the widest part of the body is 52 stitches, and you do probably 2 or 3 rounds of that. So the one I'm making, this is in Posh. The one I'm making now is in Posh Pearl, so that one might be a little bit smaller. It probably should be about the same size, but I'm still using a 4.5mm hook. That's like my hook of choice. And yeah, it's a Furby. I think it's cool as hell. I definitely need to make a sign specifically for these for my market. And again, I want to make 3. I'm trying to make things in 3s, specifically these mid-range plushies. The things that I have like as minis, I'm trying to do more like 10 each, but for these I want to make more than 1. And I have another pattern that I want to show you that I already have 2, but I'm making a 3rd. Next one is a pattern test that I recently got into. When I saw this pattern test, I was like, I need to do that again for my kids. I've also had a couple of people say they're doing special things for Stranger Things this holiday season, like they're getting prepared for Stranger Things. And I already had the Demogorgon pattern from, was it Just a Mom Crocheting? I've already sold a couple of those. And I was like, I need to put this out with my Demogorgons. This pattern actually comes with the Demogorgon, but I didn't test that one. But it is, it's 11. It's 11. Look how cute she is. Her little shaved bald head, her nosebleed, her little jacket with her pink dress and her socks. Like, I've been posing her like this, and I gave her angry eyes. So it's like, I've been posing her like this, you know, when she's like, obsessed, obsessed. This is by Crochet by IGR. He created this pattern and the Demogorgon pattern, and I believe by the time this video comes out, the pattern will be out. I think it comes out tomorrow. And again, this worked up super easy. I like that the doll pattern is actually a decently sized small pattern. So you're not looking at a huge, large pattern. Again, I used Parfait Chunky for basically everything. Yep, I think the entire thing is in Parfait Chunky yarns. And this is about the size it works up to, about the size of my head, which I kind of like this size. Like, I do a lot of things in this size. It comes out just like perfect for a little kid to like hold in their hands. Or if you're like me, it's like the perfect size for a bookshelf. So if you were to display an item like I do on your bookshelf, you just get a little doll stand and like she'll be standing there perfectly. Anyways, she's cute. She's definitely more of like a display plushie. But I have had so many people tell me that they're getting ready for Stranger Things that I just had to make it. And the pattern was fantastic. I love that she comes with this little jacket. Kind of teaches me how to make clothes a little bit because I was wondering about that for some other plushies that I have. So now I've learned a skill that I didn't have before. Let's see. The entire body is worked together. These arms, I believe, are sewed in the round. No, these arms are not sewed in. They are worked in the round. Yeah, they're worked in the round. You do sew on the ears, and I think that's it. You create the jacket separately. You surface crochet the skirt part here. And then the pattern doesn't have angry eyes, but I highly recommend angry eyes. I think it just works. I think it just works. It also adds a little bit more of a personality. And I love the personality look of a plushie rather than just the blank black eyes. That's just my personal preference. But yeah, I'm obsessed with her. Great, great pattern. Thank you for choosing me as a pattern tester. I loved doing this. I need to make the Demogorgon one too. I know. I thought I was gonna have time, but I actually did not have the yarn colors. I'm 100% out of white yarn after this. This is the last of my white yarn. Anyways, she's awesome. Love 11. Can't wait for the new season. So also I am testing out Christmas patterns because I do actually have a Christmas market coming up. I don't know really what I really want to make. I don't want to make like a ton of Christmas stuff. I don't think it'll like super sell that well. I'd rather focus on my normal stuff. But there's a couple things that I've been interested in making, and one of them is Grinch and Max. So I saw this free pattern and I thought, what the hell, I'll give it a try. It is the free Grinch pattern. I'll put the creator here below because I don't know it off the top of my head. It's a very easy, simple, quick make. Like, this took me 20 minutes for sure. I forgot to do the little heart, but he is supposed to have a little heart on his chest. And to be honest, I think it's a perfect market make. I could probably sell this for $10. Like, that's probably what I would sell it for. But, and this is just me, like this is just my weirdo self, I just want a little bit more detail on it. So I did try to add some detail with the eyelids. I was thinking about putting white around the eyes, but for me, I just didn't think that was a little bit enough. There's a couple other patterns that are small like this, but also include like a scarf and then a matching max pattern. That really was the kicker for me, why I probably may not go with this pattern for Christmas, is that I want the Grinch and Max, and I kind of want them similar styles. I don't want them two different complete patterns that don't go together. So I may just try a different one, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with this Grinch pattern. I think it's great. I'm gonna put him in my little like misfits bin because he's probably gonna be the only one that I have, but I definitely am gonna add the heart on his just before I do. Also, I wasn't satisfied with this green. I think this green is a little too green. I mean, it's a great green. This is Goblin from Parfait Chunky. This green is fantastic, but I think he's a little bit too green. You know, I feel like I want him to be a little bit more minty, like lighter green. Like still punchy, still a punchy green, but maybe just subdued a little bit so that way you can see his face a little bit better. That's just me. But anyways, I made a Grinch. He's still cute. There's nothing wrong with this pattern. I think I just am looking for something different. I did make 2 dragons. I'm severely lacking on my dragons because they keep selling. But anyways, I made the Lil Will dragon. This one is in blanket yarn. I started him a long time ago, probably when this pattern first came out. I do love this pattern. I've already made it in this variegated yarn with like a variegated blue yarn. Sold him for $50. Thought it was great. Super easy pattern to make. I used the like antler type horns on this one. Oh my god. I thought this was gonna be difficult to do because it's like 2 pieces. I thought it'd be 2 pieces to sew together. This is a bobble stitch right here. That's a bobble stitch. It's a triple crochet bobble stitch. How smart is that? I just thought it was so smart. Anyways, this is a great pattern. He's so huggable and snuggable. In fact, when my other one sold, this is what she was doing. This is what she was doing. But yeah, everything about this pattern I love. I love how substantial it is. I think it's great for blanket yarn. I do think it's great for smaller yarn as well. I just think it's such a well-made pattern. This tail, it looks so hard. It's actually not. The hardest thing about this tail is making sure you get it like on the right side. So often I keep crocheting the tail on the wrong side. That's the hardest part about it. But everything else, it's just so cool. The wings are double-sided, so there's not one side that looks bad. It's like both sides look the same and they're awesome. I love it. I love everything about it. Anyways, I am gonna put this one again for $50. He's pretty big. My dragons do pretty well. And then a new dragon pattern. I think I've seen lots of people make this dragon pattern, and for good reason. It's so fun. It's so floppy. It's so cute. But it is the, I think it's Snuggle Beans crochet pattern with the long tail. This is Eden. I did her as kind of a rainbow dragon. She turned out absolutely gorgeous, and I hesitate to do like a white dragon because obviously white gets dirty so often, but I could not resist. Like she needed to be pastel. She needed to be all kinds of things, and I could just see her like sitting on somebody's bed, you know what I mean? So I did all the pieces here. I even did the little belly patch. I had this Parfait glitzy yarn left, the one that like just sheds like crazy, and I am trying to get rid of it, but I had that. The purple on the wings I think is Posh Pearl, and the horns is Posh Pearl, and then this is Little Bunny. I just did Little Bunny with the spine detail, but I think she would be really cute in fur as well if you can find some fur. Why don't they make fur in other colors than like brown, white, and black? I don't understand. Like we need peach fur, we need purple fur, we need blue fur. Okay, I need lots of different colored fur. I know Big Twist had fur in different colors, but they're gone now. Unless it comes back, I doubt it. But I want some more multicolored fur. So if you know, if you know where I can get colored fur, please let me know. Please drop it in the comments below because I need colored fur like I need air, okay? Anyways, Eden is a very fun pattern to make. She does take a lot of time. She does take a lot of time, and you'll be doing rounds for this tail for forever, but do not shorten it. It is worth it. Everyone that has seen her loves how long her tail is. They love how floppy she is. And I think she's gonna be a big hit at my next market. Pricing. She's a hard one to price, I think. I wanna say 50. I want to say 50. I really try not to do more than 50 at my markets, but she could definitely command a lot more than that. If I was doing my BookCon event, which I want to go to, I'd probably put her easily at 60 or 70. But I'm also working on another one already. So I'm working on another one that's like this variegated black and gray color. So he's going to be like my smoke dragon. So maybe I'll get that one done by the next time, but she did take me some time. Again, this is why this is like a 2-week make video. But I love her. She's so cute. She has a sweet face. I did give her like eyelashes and eyelids, and I'm pretty sure I did. Did I do custom eyes? I don't think I did custom eyes on this one. I think they're just the glittery discs, but they're like pink. Still works. And my last makes that I'm recently obsessed with, and I'm trying to make them in all different kinds. I have no idea if these are gonna sell. I really don't, but I can't stop. They make me so happy. And that is Luxie the monster. Look at these floppy arms. I'm obsessed with the ears. I'm obsessed with. Yeah, okay, we'll start with this one since this one gets a little washed out on the camera, but so Luxie the monster to me is a bedtime monster. This is a little monster that's gonna chase away all your nightmares. Okay, that's kind of my idea. So, and I'm gonna put a little sign that says, even monsters need a friend. That's gonna be my sign. Even monsters need a friend. And so this pattern, she gives you little cheek detail. She has little eyebrows. You make little eyelids, and then I even added white there. This pattern does come with like a belly pouch where you can actually put stuff in. I didn't do that. I opted for just like an emblem. I made a moon. This does not come with the pattern, but I just searched up on Instagram crochet moon pattern and found one and made it. The ears are worked in 2 pieces, so there's 4 pieces for each ear, and it does have an interesting way of sewing them to the head, so you're not just sewing it straight to the head, but you at some point you dip this portion of the ear down a little bit, so that way the ear has some fold right there, and it kind of makes it a little bit more expressive. You have different options for horns. These are the large horns that I did. So the large horns do have a little bit of a shape to them. You can stuff them if you need to. I don't think I did, but really the creativity here lies with what colors you choose, how like what theme you want to go to. Obviously this is a moon theme, kind of a nighttime bedtime moon theme. One thing I did add on the opposite side, did I give it a little bit of a butt? I did give it a little bit of a butt, and I also put little stars on the butt. I'm a butt girl. I don't know what to say. I love a good butt on things. Anyways, I love how floppy this is. Like, I can just picture a little kid holding this like this. Like, I can just picture it. And then for this one is like my rainbow, pastel rainbow monster. She's so stinking cute. This one I just found a little heart emblem and put a little, like made a little heart. You can find a heart pattern on Instagram. There's like 100 of them out there. I just chose one and made one. This is the variegated little bunny pastel yarn. I have another colorway of this that I want to try out. I think it works really well for the inside of the ears and the emblem and stuff. And then the horns, this is all Posh Pearl. Definitely easy pattern to make if you wanted to do blanket yarn or demi pearl or something like that. I'm just obsessed with how cute these are. And again, I had to put a butt on her, but this time I put a little heart on her booty. But I'm obsessed. I think these are adorable. I'm currently making a third one that's gonna be like woodland themed, so he's very dark, like evergreen, and then he has mushroom horns, so I'm just kind of customizing some horns from their little mushrooms. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the emblem on the one I'm making. I think I want to make like a tree trunk, so we might do that. If not, I don't know, maybe another mushroom. I don't know. What do you think I should put? He has mushroom horns, so what should I do on his belly? He's like woodland, you know what I mean? A leaf? Maybe a leaf, like a maple leaf. I do have that maple color from Premiere. But anyways, I did custom eyes from these two as well. They both use 25mm eyes. I'm out of eyes, so I have to get more eyes, but I plan to make a ton of these, and it's gonna be like more of like an adopt a monster type of shelf. Not a mystery thing, but definitely like, just like every monster needs a friend, take a monster friend home. To me, these were perfect for what I sell. Again, I sell fantasy creatures, monsters, dragons, mythological creatures, aliens, anything that's not real. And I thought these were perfect. Anyways, that's all the things that I made in the last couple of weeks. They're all so fun. I just like to make things that make me laugh and smile, and I think that's why I do like monsters and mythical creatures so much, because those were often my favorite things about the fantasy books that I read and the fantasy movies that I watch. I love the creatures. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments below, and if you're not following me, please do so. It really helps my channel. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye!